Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. Are you ready to unlock the full potential and growth in your business? You've already crossed 7 figures in sales, but the challenge is knowing how to take your business to the next level. Join Josh Hadley, an 8-figure Ecomm business owner and investor, as he interviews highly successful business owners. Get ready, because you're going to learn specific actions you can take today to help your business reach its full potential and leave a lasting impact on the world.
Welcome to the Ecomm Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Hadley, where I interview the top business leaders in e-commerce. Past guests include Adam Heiss, Kevin King, and Michael E. Gerber, the author of The E-Myth. Today, I'm speaking with Alina Vlaic. Alina is the co-founder of PressX and founder of AZ Rank. She established herself at the forefront of Amazon strategic thinking, and she has ran thousands of product launches over the last 4 years, helping thousands of sellers do better on Amazon and Walmart as well. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about product launches, listing optimizations, and driving external traffic without costing you an arm and leg. This episode is brought to you by Ecomm Breakthrough Consulting, where I help 7-figure companies grow to 8 figures and beyond. Listen, Alina, I started my business back in 2015, and I grew it to a 8-figure brand in 7 years. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way that made the path of getting to 8 figures take a lot longer than it needed to. I made a lot of mistakes when it came to, maybe choosing the wrong products to launch, or, questioning whether my brand could actually survive, cash flow issues, hiring the wrong team members or not knowing the right team members to hire, or creating an operating structure in my business to allow the business to actually scale. I wish I would have had a mentor along the way that would have been able to help me overcome those stumbling blocks quicker and easier so that I could have reached that 8 figures faster. So to our listeners, those of you who have hit some similar stumbling blocks and want to know the next steps to take your brand to the next level, then go to ecommbreakthrough.com. That's Ecomm with 2 M's to learn more. And as a special bonus to my podcast listeners, this month I'm giving away one $10,000 comprehensive business strategy audit session at no cost. All you need to do is email me at josh@ecommbreakthrough.com, and in your subject line, say strategy audit, and then plead your case as to why I should choose you and your brand to work with for this month. But today I am super excited to introduce you all to Alina. Alina Vlaic is a standout leader in the Amazon industry and the catalyst behind AZ Rank, PressX, and PhotoLive. She began her journey in her father's grocery store, which later evolved into a successful publishing house. This early experience in a family business in Romania during the first port communism years sparked her enduring passion for entrepreneurship. After earning her master's in international business in 2003, Alina gained a deep understanding of the global market, and her career really took a significant leap when she stepped into the Amazon marketplace, skillfully merging her business knowledge with the fast-paced world of e-commerce. At AZ Rank, she and her team developed tailored solutions for thousands of Amazon sellers, making the online selling experience smoother. Then, with PressX, she introduced an innovative approach to increasing external traffic and brand recognition through a cost-effective model. And her latest venture, PhotoLive, redefines the user-generated content with a fresh perspective. So with that introduction, welcome to the show, Alina.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Josh. Thanks for having me, and I'm very happy to be here.
Well, Alina, I am super excited to have you on this podcast. You have a lot of experience launching products, helping sellers optimize products, drive more traffic to their listings. And I think everybody listening to this episode wants all of the above. They want to launch better. They want better product launches. They want more external traffic. They want to be able to be relevant and scale their brand to 8 figures and beyond. So, Alina, with that being mentioned, I would love to hear from you. Why don't you just give our listeners, some of the things that have been on the top of your mind as of late and what's been working for a lot of the clients you've been working with?
Okay, where do I start?
It's a tall order.
Yeah. Let's start with product launches. I know everybody's, a lot of people in the Amazon space say that even if you have a great product, sometimes it's not enough. You have to also do a great launch in order to be successful on that product. And oftentimes, unfortunately, I see a lot of great products with 4 launches. And I'm saying that in in the position where I've been in, this happened to me as well with our first brand that we've ever launched on Amazon.com in 2018. It was the same thing. I'm not sure if it was a great product though, but for sure it was an awful launch. And that happens because, there's a lot of factors on that. I'm not going to go into them all. What I can say about now, the current Amazon state, let's say, and what we've seen in our campaigns and the brands we work with and our tests are a few things I would like to mention here. First of all, whenever we do a product launch, two of the main things are keyword research and listing optimization. And I think in this order, first you need to look at your keywords, and then you do your business. You do your listing. In terms of keyword research, something that I've seen more and more these days is that the Amazon data, the data that Amazon provides within brand analytics and especially Product Opportunity Explorer, has been more and more accurate. I know that, for example, for your own brand, you can look at your own data, right? You have insights, you have a lot of data inside your brand analytics dashboard. But for example, if you want to launch a new product, you don't have that data, right? And you go to all those tools. You go to Helium 10, to DataDive, Jungle Scout, whoever's out there, and you try to get the best data there is. Well, we've done, I think we're close to 6,000 launches right now. Yeah, I know. It's a lot. And in the last more than 6 months, I would say Product Opportunity Explorer data, and especially those top 25 keywords that we're seeing right now, are what they need to be. In the beginnings, it wasn't like that. We've had a lot of not errors. I think I would say just like inconsistent data from Amazon, but now they're getting their head together, because we're on a podcast and I cannot say bad words, right? They're getting everything together and they're giving us good data. So I would very much put that, if you're not doing that already, I would very much put that into your strategy, looking at Product Opportunity Explorer. For example, even if we're doing a relaunch, an old product, the product that went out of stock or had whatever issues, was shut down by Amazon, the best results we've had, the best success we've had was on the ranking on the keywords and relaunching on those keywords. And that means focusing on PPC with the strategy that each seller or each brand chooses. And if they chose to work with us as well, with the new way of doing giveaways that we're applying right now, those keywords also work very well and fast.
Interesting. So if you go through your keyword research through, Opportunity Explorer, where are you finding the biggest bang for your buck? Are you saying that those keywords need to be in your title, or bullets or description, or is it all of the above? Like, how are you recommending people incorporate those keywords into their listings?
So what I've seen that works best, and I very much like this because I see it as a very efficient way, is to take that list of 20 to 25 keywords and put it together and see how many keywords you can combine, like keyword into keyword. So for example, if your main keyword is garlic press, and your second main is garlic press stainless steel, I would use garlic press stainless steel and
kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. And maybe try to kill 5 or 6 birds with one stone, for that matter. So that would be the first thing I would do. And then, depending on how many of those birds we have, how many of those long tail keywords, but with root keywords inside, of course, first place is the title. Second place would be the description, and third place would be the bullet points. Now, in the last few months, A+ Premium has also been very important, and that metadata that we are allowed to put into the premium A plus has been proven to work very well. So I would not ignore that.
Would you recommend duplicating keywords? Let's say I already have keywords in the title. Would you put them in the metadata for A plus content as well?
Yes, I wouldn't put them in the title and in the bullets, or in the title and in the description, but I would put them in the title and in the metadata, or I would put them in the title and in all those fields in the flat file that nobody fills in. Subject matter even, I don't know if, I'm sure you know, but maybe some of your listeners don't know that even just working on that flat file, on the Excel file, you can still add that column that says subject matter. And sometimes I don't know to say an exact percentage how much does it work, but it still works. If you add the column, you can literally get your subject matter back on your listing and fill that up with keywords.
Fascinating. Interesting. That's a great hack. I love that. So, Alina, you also briefly touched on PPC. How important is PPC then when you're launching?
Well, first of all, let me say I don't like PPC. I actually hate it. So I'm not an expert by no means. So what I say and what we recommend people, brands, our clients, is do not stop your PPC while you're doing a different type of launch. Because oftentimes some do. So PPC has to be there. Those keywords that we're working on, those keywords that you are the most relevant on need to be there in your PPC campaigns. I don't want to go deeper into that. But one thing that I can say would be that the most relevant keywords, even if they're not your main ones, so the smallest long tail keywords that are exactly what the people are searching for, the exact definition of your product, should be placed in an important place, let's say, in your PPC campaigns, not just left there among other 50 keywords in a, broad campaign. So those type of campaigns where those very relevant long tail keywords get a little bit more bids on, a little bit more attention in the PPC, have proven to work very well during launches and even relaunches too. Because Amazon likes that. Amazon likes to see that you're paying for something more than just the main one, just the main keyword where everybody's fighting on. And Amazon, needs to adjust the bids. For those smaller keywords, it's a lot easier, and they get their money and we get our ranking. So it's just the way it has to be.
Makes sense. So it sounds like you don't love PPC. You're saying that it needs to be on, but you're saying that you have a separate launching strategy that's not entirely dependent on PPC. Is that true?
Correct. Yes.
What is that? So let's dive into that now.
So it has three components. One of them is PPC, as I explained before. I'm not going to repeat that. So PPC has to be there in the amounts and budgets that everybody considers appropriate. That's one thing. Second thing is I'm not going to say search, find, buy because we're not allowed to. The redefined giveaways or the surveys that we do right now. Kind of a market research combined with the purchase that gives you also some feedback about your listing and about your product at the end of the day. So basically, we still do them in a different way. And third, so this would be the second component, and third component, a little bit of external traffic. Even if you don't have a TikTok shop, even if you don't have a budget to do a press article or, something crazy like that. I mean, not crazy, but a little bit more expensive. Just make a YouTube channel, make a few TikTok posts. Come to us. We can help with that. Just make a few TikTok posts and then find some people that can go through those posts to your Amazon and purchase, either through us or your friends and family or whatever. Just give Amazon some feedback and some data that some traffic is coming from external. And the funny thing is that I know a lot of your listeners and a lot of people out there are saying this is like, cheating and fooling the system. Yes, I know. My two comments on this would be one, I don't think there is anybody doing 7 or 8 figures who didn't trick the system just a little tiny bit. That's one thing. And second thing, if you just start and do it like very, very moderate. Don't go crazy like people used to do it in days, or like some Chinese sellers still do. If you don't go crazy like that, it will add up. It will be the snowball effect. And then in a matter of days or maybe weeks, organics will come in and you won't have to do that.
Awesome.
Anymore.
I love that. So, Alina, I think that, I also love to, let's quelch the notion of, these are black hat tactics. In my opinion, right? I don't think these are black hat tactics or even gray hat tactics. If you really think about it, think about a well-known brand, right? Let's say it's Kraft Foods, Mondelez, right? They come out with a new Oreo cookie, and let's say they're the first channel it's going to become available on is going to be on Amazon. They have an email list. When they run ads on TV, if their first channel was to direct people to Amazon, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to run TikTok ads. They're going to run TV ads. They're going to run radio ads. They're going to do all of this. And they're going to say, come find our new Halloween Oreo or whatever it is. It's the new springtime Oreo, the new 4th of July Oreo, right? Whatever it is, they're basically telling, hey, search for this,
You'll find
Halloween
it.
Oreo.
I know.
We'll find it and come learn about our product, right? So you're not doing anything that I think is like, oh, this is illegal. This is against TOS. It's like the big brands.
When it is illegal, though, sorry for interrupting. If you ever do this, whoever's listening, if you ever do this, just stop there. Don't go further with the reviews.
Yes.
That's crossing the line. And we don't do that. We don't recommend doing that. And we highly recommend staying away from that.
I would say you stay away from reviews with a 9-foot pole. Which means you just don't even talk about them. You don't even, obviously they're important, but I think that Amazon's done a decent job as of late that, just getting customers to leave reviews. And I don't think you need the hacks to get reviews. And guess what? If you have bad reviews, then guess what? Probably means your product sucks. So that means you need to work on a better product. It doesn't matter, you having a friend or 2 or 10 that go and leave you reviews are not worth your account health overall. So I love that. Now, Alina,
and they just rolled out the new Vine program where they even offer 2 or 3 for free, and then or for like a very tiny amount, which is good. I mean, yeah. And the Vine program, it's super easy, and yes, you can get some reviews to get your product started. Alina, I want to learn more about, kind of like steps 2 and 3. You talked about, it's not search, find, buy, but it is, surveys. Tell us more about what those are and how that works. Okay. So, everything is related to one of the first things I mentioned here, and that was the keyword research. And not necessarily the research itself, but the way you're choosing your keywords for your product, and not necessarily for your launch, but for your product overall. And what we've seen in so many hundreds and thousands of launches and in so many products that we see every day is that going from day one on the main keywords, I know everybody wants to be there and we should be there at one point, but going straight forward to those keywords, and I mean PPC, listing, several places, different places in the listing, and then maybe giveaways and stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad, but it's taking a longer time and it's going to cost you more. If you're focusing on this very relevant keywords, which are longer tails, which sometimes don't even have a search volume detected by the tools, but finding 10 or 20 keywords of that kind, all of those keywords containing inside your root main keywords, main, second main, third main, and making like a ball of those keywords, and implementing them into your listing and into your launch strategies, including PPC, including giveaways. That has been, I think, maybe I would say not 100%, but let's say 99.9% of the situations a success for us. Focus, start with the low hanging fruits and then climb to the top. It's going to cost you less, way less. You have no idea. Just an example, if you're doing giveaways, and I know a lot of people do, even if they don't admit they do them. If you were to do 1,000 units on your two main keywords in a very competitive niche, like supplements or sports or fitness or whatever, and get those launched and get those not launched, ranked in top 5. If you would go with 10 or 20 of these keywords that I'm talking about and group them and try to, build like a sentence from them, like everything to make sense at the end. We've had cases where we got those 2 keywords ranked and a bunch of others with 200, maybe.
Wow.
Same results, just a different approach. And I know it's for some sellers and for some brands, it's very hard to digest because their niches and their categories are extremely competitive, and whatever they tried this before, they would have done like thousands. I'm not saying it works all the time with this ratio, like 200 to 1,000, but always it's less. It's always less because, and the simple fact behind it that maybe, we all know this as Amazon sellers, but maybe, in the speed of everything, we're not aware is that Amazon likes relevance. It's more than velocity. First thing is relevance, and after that come all the other conversion rate, velocity, bids, and everything. First thing is relevance.
Makes a lot of sense. How are you reaching out to these customers then? Do brands need to have their own customer email list, or are you running ads on Facebook, or where is this coming from?
We're not running ads on Facebook. Customers don't need to have their own list. We have our own people, and there are a lot of people. We have our own audiences. Sometimes we do designated campaigns on specific audiences if people want to. We're developing right now another thing, which I think is going to be very good. It's like a poll service, but not like the polls that we know of. It's like more of a breakdown of everything that you want to know about your existing product or about your competitor product. And that's how we kind of structured or divided our audience into focused audiences. If you need a baby, we're going to go to moms and new moms and toddler moms or whatever. If you want to go to fitness, we're going to go to people doing fitness and so on. So that's one thing. But main thing, we have our own people. Everything is taken care of by us, and it's going good. Very good, actually.
Are people doing full purchase buys, or are you giving them promotion codes to use at all?
A full purchase usually works. A full purchase price usually works best. Now, if you have a $200 item, sometimes it's easier to add a coupon or a discount code, depending on how you strategize your launch. Some people just want to start at 50% of their goal price and then go higher. Some people just want to start with their full price and put a coupon. What I can say is that both work, coupon or no coupon, but no coupon, full price leads you to need to do less units than the coupon or discounted price.
Awesome. Makes a lot of sense. I love that. And then the last thing you talked about, kind of the third step. Why don't you elaborate a little bit more about what's involved in that third step of launching? External
traffic. So this is a lot. External traffic is like the word on everyone's lips nowadays. So what we do best, let's say, what we have the most experience is in our launches, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily launch directed, would be the press. the press articles, the press releases, the listicles, for example, right now is a craziness with the, those Black Friday listicles, the top 20, those help a lot. Traffic, sales, brand awareness, Google ranking, everything. It helps a lot. But Black Friday is just once a year, right? So you cannot always have those. If you have the budget and if you have a decent brand, if you are 7 figures, you should have a decent brand with a couple of products at least that do well, or maybe more products, but each of them doing less, but together they make a lot of sense. Then I would say it would be a good idea to try this. If not, if you're just like on your first product, even if it does 7 figures, but if you have just one product, I'm not sure if that works, because the whole idea of the press, it's not about the numbers. It's not necessarily how many sales did I get from that article, what was my conversion rate, what was my add to cart rate, what was my attribution, whatever. It's more about everything else. It's more about the brand awareness, the brand recognition, people hearing your name, Google raising that brand name in the results and allocating that brand name to other keyword searches too. And on top of everything is that, for example, in our case, but I think in other people too, if you write an article with us, if we do an article for you, it stays there forever. Mm-hmm. If you have an attribution link provided to us and we use that attribution link in a press article 2 years from now, when you're going to search, when you're going to look in your attribution dashboard, you're going to get clicks. You're going to see clicks on that attribution link that came after the article. And those were for free. And sometimes they can be huge. It's just like, I don't know, some product just goes viral on TikTok and everybody searches that product and it's one of yours. There are all kind of this type of scenarios that can happen. So it's more about I see like an investment, in your brand, doing a press articles. We have brands that come to us and they say, I don't care about the sales. I don't care about conversion rates. I don't care. I just want an article in one of these publishers. And then next month say, I want another article in one of these publishers, just to be there, just to have their name spoken about, and their products, of course.
And does it pay off over time, I guess, is the question.
It does. From what we've seen so far, we've only been doing this myself. So I'm just speaking from what I know, for 1 year and a few months, 1 year, 2 or 3 months. But I've been talking to other people in the industry and they say, if you have a brand that you really want to grow it and not just like sell it in 6 months, it's worth it. Awesome. There's nothing wrong with selling it, but just do it now if you're going to sell in 1 year or in 2 years. So you can add something to your brand value in this time. If the time period is too short, then I wouldn't do it.
So tell me how that would work. Give me a scenario with how that would work with a product launch. Let's say we're willing to invest in it. We want to have a successful product launch. We want to get some press for our new product as well. How much should I be budgeting? Where's that press article typically going to come from? What type of traffic could I expect from it? Can you share maybe some more of those details?
Sure. So I'm not going to go too much into all the budget scenarios that we have, but usually our best working publishers are in a $6,000 range, $6K range. What does that mean? It means that you have to promise to me that you are willing to spend $6,000. And then you come to me, you sign off the thing, and then we're going to get this rolling for you. We're going to discuss the publishers. For example, let's say you're going to have, home and decor, right? Or no, let's say beauty, right? Something for women. We have a bunch of magazines for women. We're going to go talk to them and we're going to come to a selection to, let's say, 5 titles. We're going to go to them and say, okay, you're right. Your article will most probably be in one of these 5 titles, right? Then after that, you say yes, and we're starting our work, and the article goes live. Well, if that article gets 100 clicks, usually our CPC, just as an average, is between $2 and $2.5 for these articles. I know for some people this is very expensive. For some people it's very cheap, depending on their categories on Amazon and how much the bids cost, right? So let's say $2. Let's keep it around. So for $6,000, you could get a maximum of 3,000 clicks, right? Now, if your article only gets 100 clicks, you only pay $200 and still get the article and still have it live out there and still be able to use it however you want. For example, this is a hack for other people that are using press articles right now. You can run your own Google ads on those press articles that are already there with your attribution links inside, and just take it from there. I know everybody knows what that means. So if your article gets 100 clicks, you pay $200. If your article gets 1,000 clicks, you pay $2,000. If your article gets 3,000 clicks, you pay the whole budget. If it goes extremely well and you want to add more to your budget, you can add more. So that's how it goes, basically. You only pay for what's spent.
Yeah. How are the clicks working? Like, how are you tracking the clicks? Are you just monitoring the referral link? And that's like, you have to download that report.
So first, most of the cases, like over 90% of the cases, people use an attribution. So you have your own, which I don't have access to. So you as a brand have your own way of tracking those through your attribution dashboard. That's one thing. But we don't charge based on that. We charge based on our own software that is connected through an API with the publishers, and we track them. Usually so if we say we had 1,000 clicks, your attribution would say 1,200 clicks. So usually we're less. It's around there. It's not exact. I mean, nobody can say.
I guess my question is, at what point do you stop, having to pay for those clicks so that it lives on in perpetuity, right? So
when the budget ends. So if you reached, in our example, if you reached 3,000 clicks or $6,000 and you want to stop and don't add more, then we stop. You don't pay for anything else, and the article stays there.
And you could then run your own Google ads if you wanted to.
Exactly. Nobody does that.
Fascinating. Awesome. And then you also mentioned like getting on TikTok, right? And tell me about that.
So that's let's say the expensive solution.
This is the expensive solution, huh? All right, let's hear it.
This was the expensive solution. The press article was the expensive.
Okay.
Cheaper. Yeah, the cheaper ones would be TikTok. I mean, TikTok, what we offer right now, and I know there's a lot of ways to go on TikTok right now, from going to the influencer hub in their platform, to making your own shop, to, I don't know, having just random people post about your product. So there's a lot of ways. What I would like to mention here, strictly regarding product launches, if you don't have TikTok on your bucket list, or I don't know, if maybe your product is not necessarily fit to TikTok. Some products just aren't, for example, for TikTok. So you would have no way of going to an influencer and saying, hey, would you like to promote my beautiful toilet paper on TikTok?
Right.
It doesn't really work. But you could still have a few posts about your brand, and through family or friends or through us, we can help with that through some content, and just build a basic brand page on TikTok. It doesn't have to be a shop, just a page. But when we do the giveaways, part of them, we can redirect them to TikTok, through TikTok. Or this was just an example of TikTok, because it's the most, it's the word in everybody's mouth right now, like external traffic equals TikTok.
Yeah.
But I love YouTube, and all the campaigns we did with YouTube had great results. Same thing. build a page, put some content out there, create some I don't know, give some value regarding your product. I don't know, some show off, so some examples of how it can be used or whatever, instructions, guarantee, whatever. So people can go there and we can redirect them through that. Instagram, pretty much anything. But TikTok is very valuable right now. YouTube works very well. Instagram works very well. Facebook, so and so. It's still pretty much everything that external works. But the more you go like far away from everything that has been common, like, everybody was using Facebook ads like forever. Yeah. Even Google ads work. I'm not a specialist in Google ads also either. But we have had some good results with driving traffic through Google as well. And actually is one of the strategies that we use in the ranking, combining the Amazon surveys that I've talked about previously with some purchases from Google based on keywords, and all that together makes a good mix. So bottom line, have some kind of paid or content on any of these platforms or all of them, and insert that into your launch or relaunch by directing some sales to Amazon, but through
those other channels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels.
Exactly.
How are you creating those reels? Like, are you recommending that brand owners should, dance with their products, or how do they get, some engaging traffic, or, what type of posts are they creating?
It's very different depending on the product. So what we do in PhotoLive, our UGC service, so we do genuine content. I barely encourage sellers to give any type of instructions. Just the main thing, like, for example, these are white. Don't say they're black or something like that. Just, I'm giving a foolish example, but not stay with the right, stay to the left, look at the camera or whatever. It's not studio. It's like genuine content, and people love that. The more genuine it is, and the more people talk from their bathroom with their shower towel in their heads, and from the toilet sometimes, or whatever, people love that. As long as it's not forced, it's like whatever people think about their product, they're putting it out there. That type of content I'm recommending right now, and something that I would very much encourage everyone to test is try running some Google ads using those type of content, video or photo. You're gonna see unbelievable results compared to a white background, stylish photo with filters and colors and everything. Seems like people don't, the buyers, your audience, don't buy that anymore. They want to see the real thing.
Fascinating. I love that. Alina, we've talked about so many great strategies. I would love to hear from you. Do you have any case studies that come to mind that you could just share some of the case studies of people that have implemented some of these tactics that we've discussed today, and how they're working in the real world?
There's so many. Trying to figure out to find something that can actually be interesting. In terms of press, we've had the best results, I can say, we've had with beauty items. So if you're into the beauty category, I would totally recommend a test. I usually tell people, even people that say, hey, I want to put like, I don't know how much money into this. I say, no, just let's do one. Let's do one test. Let's do one campaign, see how that goes. So beauty works very well in press, that I can say. In terms of launches, case studies, forbidden keywords, for example, we've had a lot of good results. For example, if you're into the CBD, and then I know a lot of people are, or into adult products. By the way, adult products work very well in press. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Yes.
Good to know.
So
Maybe change business models is what you're saying to people.
Could be, yeah. So if you're into forbidden, this type of niches, like where you have forbidden keywords that you're not allowed to do PPC on or stuff like that, we managed to get those ranked by using, for example, for CBD, by using buyers and focusing traffic from states, US states, where CBD was allowed. I did not believe that was a fact, but apparently it is, and it worked really well. So somehow Amazon is connected to that. I don't know why and how.
Interesting.
Also, geo-ranking. Do you believe in geo-ranking?
Tell me more about it. Are you specifically talking about
zip codes? Like, for example,
where your inventory is and all that?
Yeah.
I think there's something in Amazon's algorithm for sure that measures how quick can somebody get it. You know, do your products jive more with people from the South versus people from the East Coast, et cetera?
We're working on something. I cannot say too much about it, but probably next year it's going to be live, and it should be very interesting especially for more established brands in terms of geo-ranking and how to track your keywords. Sorry. But what I would say right now, definitely to test, is to try to spread your inventory by yourself, not rely on Amazon. Try to spread your inventory as much as possible. I'm sorry, just my son. Spread your inventory as much as possible using, there are a few tools out there that can help you to do that. And if you're doing that in a launch, it's visible. The way it adds up together. I don't have anything in mind right now, like a specific example from a specific category, but we've seen plenty.
Yeah.
Having Amazon, basically you make their job easier, right? Because you already send that. I know it costs a bit more in the beginning for that shipping cost and everything to spread it around. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it because it just needs one carton. You just need to send one carton into that specific location and get some sales. And whenever you get some sales, then Amazon is going to replenish by themselves the rest. Just, one. It's the expense of one shipped carton to a location. And for example, I use Helium 10 with heat maps.
Okay.
They have, I know probably there are others out there, but that's what I use when I look. So they have heat maps showing you where your inventory is and where your sales are. And when you cross-check those, you're going to see some opportunities out there. For example, places you get sales but no inventory. Imagine what happens if you're sending more inventory into that. Places where you have inventory but no sales. Let's try to push that a little bit and focus on that part with some sales.
I love that. Alina, then if I want to do that, what tools would you advise or recommend I use in order to force, sending to specific, FBA centers?
My favorite one is Shipment Maker Pro. I know they were not out of business, but they did some remodeling through on their APIs and some software stuff. But they're back in business right now and they're working very well, and I'm very pleased with them. So that would be my number one. I don't even know if there is another one, but I'm missing it right now. Anyway,
no worries. If you remember it, we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So Alina, this has been an amazing episode. You've shared so many great hacks and tips and strategies to rank products. And most importantly, these strategies can work for mature products and relaunching and just gaining more traffic. And these are timeless business principles, right? That drive external traffic, increase your brand awareness. And if you do all of those basic things, you start to create this flywheel outside of Amazon. And hopefully you become less dependent on all the Amazon hacks. If you have external press articles or external social media clips that are driving traffic.
And what I like to say is that sometimes and myself included, I'm so much into this. We're so looking only straightforward to this Amazon business or e-commerce business because, it's Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, whatever, other platforms too. We forget to be creative. Sometimes it's just so easy to get a little tiny bit of external traffic for your Amazon brand. Just have a coffee one day in a Starbucks and start creating a YouTube page. You never know what happens. Just have it there. Create a TikTok page. You don't have time or you don't have the knowledge to go to their hub and find influencers and whatever, all those strategies. That's fine, but just have the page there. Have some content. Do yourself or ask your children or your wife or your friends or your whatever to make some crazy, stupid videos. People have had crazy sales on TikTok with content that it's literally done on your knees. Like it says, it's nothing fancy. Just try. We all should try to be a little bit more think outside the box, just a little bit more creative and stop following all those rules and what everybody else does. That's my take. I know some people will love it, some people will hate it, but it's just my take on that.
But I think it's such good words of wisdom. I think it's just think creatively, be who you are, get yourself out there in the world, test new things. I love the analogy of, a fishing. If you go fishing, right, and you just keep using the same bait, you keep fishing in the same hole. And you're expecting different results every single time. It's not going to happen. What you do need to do is drive to the other side of the lake, throw your pole in the water, change out your bait, put 10 different poles in the water with all types of different bait, and then see what's working, then start doubling down on that. But if you don't, and you're just laser focused on, this is the only way I know how to launch products. It's the only thing that's worked successfully for me for the last 5 years, and I'm not going to do anything else, then as things change, you're going to be at the disadvantage.
You said something very important, and I really want to double on that. We've worked with, and we have a lot of close friends and brand owners, huge sellers that have been selling since forever, like 2012, 13, 14, something like 10 years ago. And some of them are still expecting for the same things to happen in 2023, 2024. It's not. Those days you could do 1,000 giveaways and get 1,000 reviews, and Amazon was saying thank you for that. You're going to have a great launch. Try doing that right now. It's a different world. I remember in 2017 when I first started this and I first looked at the Amazon, PPC was so complicated back then, and they only had broad exact phrase. They didn't even have product, I think. And when you look at PPC right now, you need to go to college, to the college of PPC to barely understand it. So, it's you need to if you're in this business, you need to adapt and move with the wave.
I love it. Alina, this has been fantastic. I love to leave the audience with 3 actionable takeaways from every episode. So here are my 3 actionable takeaways that I've noted for our audience. But Alina, you let me know if you think I'm missing something here. But action item number 1, I'm going to go back to the very basics, which is make sure that you're doing your proper keyword research. And I think we also hear a lot of people that come up with a unique product idea that they're like, this is going to crush it on Amazon. But if you were to actually go do keyword research, maybe people aren't even searching for that type of product on Amazon. And so Amazon's not necessarily your discovery tool, right? They're not known for, innovative products. So you're not going to succeed there. So it's important to do comprehensive keyword research. And if you're not leaning into the Amazon data that they are giving you with brand analytics, with Opportunity Explorer, with the SQP data, you're going to be at a disadvantage. There's so many tools, data dives focused on that, and what keywords you use and where you put them in your listing matters in terms of the algorithm. And so make sure you understand that. I think that's 101. You've got to have the right keywords in the right places. Action item number 2 is going to be about starting to grow your external traffic to your brand. And I would start by saying this: if you don't have your own audience, you should start working on creating your own audience for your own brand. Whether that's building your own audience through insert cards, right? Could be giving a warranty, could be giving away a free digital download, but give something that is actually of value to a customer. Collect their email address. What we do for our brand is we actually collect their mobile number, because mobile numbers are much more, you got higher open rates, higher click-through rates, 10 times better. But now you have hopefully a raving fan base. And that way, when you launch a product, you can do exactly what Alina talked about, what we shared the example of Mondelez and Kraft Foods. If they're launching a new product, they're going to reach out to their list. You can reach out to your list and say, hey, go find our new product on Amazon. Guess what they're going to go do? They're going to go search, they're going to find your product, and they're going to buy your product. But you don't have to give away any rebates. You don't have to do any of that stuff. 100% TOS compliant. And you're doing what is proven to work and help rank products on Amazon. Third, last but not least, I love the idea of just incorporating creativity into your business. And I think one of the lowest hanging fruits right now, still, even though it's being talked about a lot right now, is TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. We know that those are trending. Even Google's doubling down on that and giving love to YouTube Shorts. So can you focus on that with your products, getting user-generated content in there? They don't need to be professional videos, and just put stuff out into the world. See what starts to stick, right? Cast 10 different fishing poles out there, see what works, and then keep doing what's been working there. So Alina, anything extra that you think I missed that our listeners should use as an action item from this episode?
On point number 1, with the keywords and everything that you've mentioned and I've talked about, on top of that, I would just make a reminder: don't forget about your flat files and those category listing reports that you can download with your whole catalog in it. Just take them one at a time, or parent at a time, or whatever, and see what's in there. I personally like to stuff all the fields that don't make sense to my listing, because, in every category, there's a bunch of fields that don't make necessarily sense. Instead of putting NA, I would put keywords. Where you feel like you should put NA, you should put NA. But you know that if you have your entire line filled, so your whole flat file filled with keywords, then it's lower than 1% chance you could ever get hijacked. With whatever kind of attack. When I say hijacking, I know we're all brand owners and stuff, but there have been a lot of situations with attacks on people's, and strange contributions and whatever on people's listings. So have your all your fields filled in from the flat file, NA or keywords.
Yeah, great advice, and that is definitely a really important action item for sure. Alina, I love to ask every guest the following 3 questions. So first off, what's been the most influential book that you've read, and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. So I think the one that I'm actually rereading it right now. So maybe that's why it first came to my mind. It's called The Buddha and the Badass by Vishek Lakshyani. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Is the founder of Mind Valley.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I strongly recommend it. It just helps you better understand why you do the things you do, and why you want the things you want, and how to connect everything. For me, it's a life-changing book.
I love that. That is one book recommendation I haven't heard yet, and I love getting new book recommendations. So love to hear that.
Let me know when you read it. Let me know.
Will do. All right, Alina, next question. What is a new productivity or software tool that you've recently discovered that you think is going to be a game changer?
Actually, I just heard about this one yesterday, and it's called Xmars. It was mentioned in MZ Innovate conference I was telling you before we started recording. My husband has attended it, and it's something that combines PPC with AI and with a lot of human thing. I don't even know how to talk about it that much, but just looking at their website and seeing some stuff out there and the things they do and some case studies, it blew my mind. So just take a look.
Fascinating.
That's what I
All right. XMars, is it .ai.com? Do you know?
.com. I think it's .com.
All right. Fascinating. Now I'm going to have to go check that out. All right. Last question, Alina. Who is somebody that you admire or respect the most in the e-commerce space that other people should be following, and why?
Oh, that's the hardest of them all. I would also say I follow Vishek Lakiani from Mindvalley, but not that closely. Maybe it's, I don't know, it's not that much into our industry. Let's say from Amazon. Oof. It's a very hard one. There's so many people out there which I love and respect. Names that come to mind right now is Carlos Alvarez, and I would say his name because of everything he does for the community. And I don't know how that guy does it. He's a 9-figure seller, and he still hosts meetups in live and online 3 times a week or something for the community. So that's amazing. Bradley Sutton is an old friend, and I think is one of the who's the most passionate about this industry and the game itself. And by the way, I'm not going to say more, but for your listeners, if you haven't checked his strategy about keywords that don't get indexed or ranked, and it's all I would say is about is that the whole thing runs around Amazon recommended field in Helium 10. If you haven't checked that out, you should. We've done some tests and it works amazingly well, but I'm gonna let them discover what that is. I've already named 3, so I think it's enough, right?
I think that's perfect. Those are some great people that you've recommended, and we've had each of them on the podcast other than the Mindvalley guy. So I think, Alina, this has been such a great podcast. Thanks so much for your time. If people want to learn more about you, they want to follow along with your journey, they want to even, utilize some of the services that you offer, where can people find more about you and any special offers you have for them? So
if they want to connect with me directly, I'm on all the platforms with my name, Alina Vlaic. That's ALINAVLAIC. Our main website is azrank.com. Just fill in a basic contact form and reach out. We love to hear from everybody, just thoughts and questions or whatever. This is how we grow, right? By networking with other people and learning from each other's mistakes. And yes, from everybody, if anybody's interested in testing our services and what we do, just message us saying that they're coming from your podcast. And I cannot say a fixed number because everything that we do is very custom, but I promise they will have a beautiful discount.
Get the royal treatment with Alina when you reference the Ecomm Breakthrough podcast. So there you go.
Or whatever is easier.
All right. Well, Alina, thank you again so much for your time and for sharing all these strategies. And I know our listeners will be following along in your journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening. Visit ecommbreakthrough.com for more information. If you've enjoyed today's episode, the best way you can show your appreciation is by clicking the subscribe button and quickly leaving a review. See you again next time.